I want to talk about a couple things. But first, I want to talk about photography. I'm actually home from work today a little bit earlier than normal. Today's like our production day. So that's when we put everything together for the news. Anyhow, so I want to talk about first that model that I was using. I was using the Barbie doll model thing to take some videos on YouTube about depth of field and stuff like that. And apparently my mother must have watched the video and she was like, "Oh, you want a model?" And you have to understand, my mother's like a real kind of, she's one of those types of people that likes to freak you out. And so the other night I found something strange in my bed. It's a child-sized Barbie doll. Well, I wouldn't say Barbie because it is kind of ugly and kind of looks a little bit like Chucky. There. Oh, ah. Anyhow, that was in my bed last night. Ooh, close her shut. It's coming open. That was in my bed. As you can see, I don't know, I'm going to jiggle her a little. You can see her eyes open and close like that. Ah! So that was a little freakish to see this like human-sized doll in the bed. I actually screamed. Oh my god. If you saw the first video that I did, I had like this tiny little Barbie. And yeah, she put a real life-size doll in my bed to freak me out. She's like, "You can use this as a gift or a toy or something." I was like, what the hell? So I'll show you again for people who are just showing up. I used a prop for my last YouTube video on depth of field, and my mom found out and gave me a life-size doll. And it's like, it reminds me of Black Chucky or something. Like the head swivels around. It's the size of like a 6-year-old kid. And the eyes open and close. Isn't that crazy? Anyhow, yeah. So today, this morning, I actually heard some really great news. I put my name down to win this contest. You know, when PewDiePie was kind of doing a contest with, I think it's Main Gear, where they create these really awesome high performance PC gaming PCs. And so I put my name down for it. I filled out all the information. And then when I got to the website, it was like, you have to be a US citizen to get this, or in the United States. And I was like, no, I'm in Canada, right? And so apparently a couple hours ago, they were like, okay, we're opening it up to international people, which makes sense. I guess maybe they got a lot of hate because a lot of people who watch PewDiePie don't live in the United States. And I mean, he's Swedish. He's not even American. So anyhow, that's good to see, good to know that they've opened it up to people like me and I can actually qualify to win it. So I actually want to go over some photo gear today. Yay! And the first thing I want to go over is the wide angle lens. Oh, there it is. So it looks like, ooh. Maybe I'll cap off so you can actually see it a little bit better. But it's like a rounded lens. And so you would use a camera like this, like a lens like this, say when you're at like a basketball game or a football game or something, and you do like a Hail Mary thing over your shoulders, so you're really short and you need to like reach over all of the players and everything when they're in a huddle. And what it does is it allows you to get really, really close to your subject. Like, I mean, say this is the camera and this is the subject's face. Oops. This is the subject's face, and it makes it appear like they're very far away, and the scope of view, because the lens is rounded, the scope of view is wider. So that means that, say if I'm in a huddle and I'm underneath, say I'm lying on my back and taking a picture upwards, that means that I can get the pictures, or like the faces of everybody who's in the huddle. So once again, it's wide angle lens. This is a Sigma lens. They make Sigma lens for Nikon cameras, as you can see. And this is a D300 Nikon camera, because I use Nikon cameras. One thing that I learned really, really early when I was a new photographer was I always wanted to switch lenses and just tryouts and stuff. And I would take pictures of groups with this. and not understanding in my mind it's a rounded lens. So if you take a picture of, say, 5 or more people, the people on the end are going to be stretched out, so they're going to have, like, what does that be? Ring, where, you know, the picture of themselves and it's all messed up and everything. Well, their face is going to look just going to be like halfway stretched. So yeah, I learned my lesson just to use like a portrait lens for group photos. And this one I just use on special occasions. If I'm in a corner at a hockey rink or something and it's a tight shot and I want to get the whole picture, I press it up against the glass and then take the picture. That's what the shutter sounds like. Anyhow, so I wanted to show you that first. And then the second thing I wanted to show you, and I tried showing you guys the other day, but it was just way too large for this picture, so I'm using a smaller one. I want to show you a light disc. Ooh. Okay, and this type actually, it's like a 5-in-1. What I mean by a light disc is I mean like a reflector. So people use reflectors when they don't want to use like hard video lights and stuff. It just reflects the sunlight. So this one's got 5 different colors in it. So obviously the standard one's going to be white. The next one is going to be silver. I have a huge one that's like white and silver. But I'm going to just show you, right now I have it kind of crumpled up. That's what it looks like when you take it out of the bag. There's a bunch of different colors. And there's a zipper on here, so you can see the different colors on the inside. I don't know if I can make it a little bit there. Like there's a gold color inside, and then there's a white. Ooh, there's a white and gold color inside. In a second, I'm going to let it go, but it's crumpled up like this because it's a giant circular object. I don't want it to like, take over the whole thing. Okay. Oh. That's what I meant. It'll explode on you. Oh my god. Anyhow, you just have to crumple it up back into a circle and see if I can actually do it. Oh, it's so stupid. Okay, there. Yeah, it's crumpled back up again. But like I said, there's 5 different kind of types inside of this light disc. So I would use this only if, say, like I'm in a park and the sun is shining down on the subject and it's really bright. Well, I'd make a stand in a shadow. So I'd make a stand under trees or between leaves or something like that. And then I'd have an assistant or a stand that reflects the light off of the sun onto the reflector. And then I just change the pitch of the reflector so it hits the model's face. And so that's why you don't use things like golden or silver. Those are like really metallic. I don't know if I can show you actually. There. You can see the metallic color on my face, and it's coming off of my light that I've got on right there. There. And then you can see the same thing with like, ooh, it makes my face more gold. There, it lights up this side of my face, see? But that's how it works, okay? So yeah, I want to show you that, and I use that a lot actually when we're outside and I have a stand, or I'll just get a friend to hold it for me and I'll tell them where to stand, and it's much better. And like sometimes you can't go out and bring a huge studio light or a ring light or whatever. You need to have a tripod and all that crap, and it's like you don't have time for that. And plus here in Canada they make you get a permit to do those things. I was like, I'm not paying $500 just so I can take a picture for like 5 seconds in the park or whatever. Just get someone to carry it. Super huge. Super huge. I'm not going to let it go. It's just going to take up all the space. Anyhow, I'm so excited. In a couple days, my new camera is going to arrive. It's not really a professional camera, not like this super huge one. Ooh. Not like this one. But I'm getting a Polaroid camera. And it's one of those mini cameras. It's like a cube. So it's about that big. And I'm actually going to be putting it on my dashboard for my car, and I'm going to be using it as a dash cam because I go all over the place in my car. The other week I was so far out of the country, it was unbelievable, and it looked so awesome as I was driving home and seeing the lights of the city and everything as I was driving into the city. And sometimes you're driving on like this bare road where there's a cliff on one side. It's just like, wow. I wish other people could see what that looked like, but that's like my everyday drive sometimes. So yeah, I'm gonna be mounting it on the car, and I have this one thing that I want to put it on my shoulder and be like, yeah, walking around with a chip on your shoulder, but it's actually the camera that shows life on my shoulder or whatever. So that's gonna be really cool too. I'm so excited to get that. And I'm going to look different too because I'm going to be doing, like, I have new glasses and I'm going to get my hair braided and everything, so I'm going to look completely different. Anyhow, so today I also want to talk about YouTube. So usually I don't really talk too much about, like, social media and all that crap or like, defending companies and stuff, but I want to talk about the YouTube boycott. I stopped drinking Starbucks coffee. And if you know me, I love Starbucks. It's like, I have Starbucks for blood. And I stopped drinking it because they were like, we are boycotting YouTube because we don't want our ads on terrorist sites. And it's like, what people fail to realize is that, you know, Pepsi and a bunch of other companies like that, they still sell stuff in Pakistan. And they still have stores in places like that. And people still go in there. And I'm sure a terrorist still goes into a regular store in Pakistan or Afghanistan or wherever. Or in England, you know, people all over the world buy their stuff. It's not like you can stop someone from buying their stuff if they just happen to be a bad person. And anyways, they could stop having their ads on those really easily. There's like a YouTube, not YouTube, but like a Google, you know, when you have a creator page, you can select what you want, what kinds of ads that you want on your page. Advertisers can do the same thing. I think it's just a big money grab. They see YouTube's making a lot of money off of those ads because more creators are talking about certain things and putting ads on, and they want to just penny pinch every cent that they can get. Ugh. So today I have talked about reflectors, I have talked about the wide angle lens, and I have talked about YouTube. And once more, I've got a little appearance by my psychedelic doll. The other one was called Venus. So I don't know what I'm going to call this one. Giant Venus? Crazy Venus? Something out of my worst nightmares Venus? You know, that just shows like her crazy sense of humor too. I think that's where I get my sense of humor because, I mean, whose parents does that sort of thing? Like, they come into your house and they put a giant scary doll in your bed. Like, I'm sure if I asked other people, they'd be like, what? Your mother did that to you? One good example is when I was afraid of fish heads, my parents would like cook up the Caribbean salt fish and stuff, and they cut the head off. In some countries, they eat the fish head, which is really gross. But one time, my mother knew that it freaked me out. This is like a giant fish head, not like, you know, a tiny little sardine, like a real fish. Like swordfish or whatever. And she cut the head off, and as I was going into the kitchen, she threw the head at me. So I was just like, holy crap. I should have just known. I should have known. I should have expected that. Anyhow, so I think that's all I have to say about photography gear right now. As I said, it's election day, and it's one of those days where you have a deadline and everything comes in at a certain time. And then, ta-da, in a couple of newspaper or television show is done. So I get a couple moments to just relax right now. But I'm so excited to get that new camera. Even though the camera is like this small. It's kind of almost like a little drone, but it doesn't fly, I guess. But you can get water housings and stuff for it. And you can have a little pendant that goes around your neck and go swimming with it and all that. So that's really cool. But yeah, that's a Polaroid cube, and I got that off of Amazon.com, and I was really surprised at how cheap it was. I think it was a couple $100 or like $100 or just around that kind. Oh, hey! What kind of music am I listening to? I am listening to Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast. I had a really funny story, actually, when I was listening to that song the first time. And I told one of my friends, like, I said the name, and they were like, "What? What did you say was that name?" And these people, you have to understand where I lived when it's a very conservative area in Canada, and people don't hear things like that. Everybody looks the same. Everybody watches the same television, if they watch television at all. And so when I told the person the name of the song, they were like, "You want bombs over Baghdad?" I was like, "No, it's a rap song. You know, rap music." And you have to also understand, when I was a kid, I was like the only black kid in the school, so there was not a lot of rap music. Anyhow, yeah, so I had to explain Outkast and, you know, how they sang and the part of the United States they were from and all that. So, yeah. I'm going to actually move this and try to shove it back into the little bag that it came in. Do you want to see one more time? Oh my god. Oh my god. I just find that hilarious, actually. I'm not going to actually scrunch it up completely because it's impossible. Ah! Give me 1 second. I'm back. So, actually, there was one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and I was going to do it tomorrow, but I think that it's fair to do it today. And it's something that I talked about on a few of my podcasts before, and it's selfie sticks and taking selfies in awkward places. So, here's a selfie stick. Ooh, it's got a little shutter release button on it too. For some reason, I can't make it go smaller. Anyhow, there's a selfie stick. Anyhow, so I want to talk about actually taking photos in awkward places. Don't take a selfie if you don't know what the background looks like. So my background's a solid color right now, but it's a green screen actually. It's just, I've pulled up the background so you can't see the green screen. But, so you could change the color or, you know, change the background to any scene you want. So if I took a selfie, I'd be like, yay, okay, whatever. I see so many people that take selfies in the bathroom. Do not take a selfie in the bathroom. I don't understand why people do that. Why they think that's okay. Like, don't take a selfie around a mirror either. So maybe this should be like the top 5 tips, actually, of selfie taking. Or don't. Like, the do and the don'ts of selfie taking. That's better, actually. Don't take a selfie in the bathroom, because there's usually always a mirror in the bathroom. And if you're on the toilet, everybody can see you on the toilet when you're taking your selfie. And once you take your selfie, if you upload your pictures to Instagram, everybody can see you on the toilet in the mirror. And it's there forever. No matter how much you change your privacy settings or you take down the picture, you can find those pictures. Trust me. I studied computer science in college. All you have to do is find the right link or the right archive online, and you can find that toilet picture. Oh my god. You know, it happens all the time. You see people who do that, and then they don't understand that, you know, 5 years down the road, your employer will see that you took a selfie and it's of you on the toilet. They'll be like, no, let's not look at that resume. Anyhow, so don't do it. Don't take selfies around children either. Because first, if it's not your kid, why are you putting their picture online? Second, why are you taking a kid's picture and putting them online? Because in 10 years, they're like, why is everybody online seeing my picture? And they're gross people online. I'm sorry, they're gross people in life, and they want to see your picture and do nasty things to you, and so you don't put your kids' pictures online, ever. Even though you might think that they're cute and everything, somebody else thinks they're cute too. But, so, don't do those 3 things. I don't know. Don't take selfies in, like, big groups, because sometimes there's people who are like, I don't want to be next to that person in the selfie. And they'll tag somebody or they'll miss somebody, and then it gives you that sort of social awkwardness moment too. So yeah, don't take selfies in the bathroom. Don't take selfies on a date. Because, who knows if that person really likes you or not. The people who are the worst, and I don't believe in criminals and anything like that. I'm a very good person. So just remember, if you're a criminal, don't take a selfie with the money, because that's always how they find criminals, really, because they're flashing their money, and it's like, oh my gosh. And actually, I think I saw something in the streets a while ago. This guy won the lottery, and he flashed all of his money, and then someone came and killed him. So don't take selfies with money. Just keep it to yourself. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would not tell anybody. Maybe I'd tell, like, my family, my immediate family, but I would disappear. I would disappear to some island. And, actually a couple of years ago, this lady won the lottery in this area. And it was hilarious because everyone was like, that's a great idea. Because over here, they make it public when you win the lottery. You don't have the choice. So she comes in the interview where they show, like, she's got the millions of dollars, and she's wearing a black trench coat and black sunglasses and got a black wig on and a black baseball cap. So you can just see, like, here and here. I was like, wow, you're the new winner. You can't identify her, so people can't call her and everything. They have her name, but I would change my name, shorten it, go to some Turks and Caicos or Barbados or somewhere like that and be sipping margaritas the next week. Maybe I wouldn't tell anybody at work. I just finish out my last 2 weeks and be like, oh, I have to take some time off. Take some time off forever. Anyhow, yeah. So if you didn't come here earlier, I talked about my giant scary Chucky doll that my mother put in my bed to scare me the other night, because she thought it would be great to have a prop that was like my little Barbie. She just enjoys freaking me out randomly. And I talked about wide-angle lenses. I never actually did talk about this camera, though. Like the Nikon camera. I never did show you the back of the lens, really. Which I should do. Okay. I can never figure out a camera, like, on the computer desktop. Like I said yesterday, the day before, and I was talking about telemeters. That's how a professional camera lens mounts to your camera. It's got these contact points on the end. Let me see. There. Ooh. Those little dots, those are contact points. So sometimes when you don't line up your camera properly, or if it can't read a lens, you just take a microfiber cloth and you wipe those off. It might be grease or dirt or something on them, or you use like a blower. I use a microfiber cloth because grease doesn't come off of the blower. But you see where that red dot is and the white dot is? That's where you line it up with the camera. There's a white dot on the side of the mount for the camera. Okay, and I don't know, oh, there, at the bottom, that's where the contact points are for the camera. It's locked up inside. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see it. It's locked up for cleaning. So you line up the dots, and then you twist it to get it on the camera. Can you tell when I'm taking an actual picture? I think you can. Yeah, you can see that the shutters are closing. This is the Nikon D300. It's worked really well for me, actually, over the years. I've had this for probably 5 years, and the battery is not, or the motor is not running out, which is amazing because, like, I'm taking pictures every day, not just, every few weeks or something. I'm taking them every single day. And I don't mean like, 2 pictures a day. I'm taking like hockey pictures where you have to track somebody on the ice. So that's another thing I should actually talk about. So when you're doing sports photography, the reason why they say sports photographers are the best photographers, I don't know if you've ever heard that, but that's what they say. It's because when you're taking sports photography, you have to basically know how to do everything in regular photography in 1/10 of the time, right? You have to know how to do composition, you have to know how to track people, you have to know how to take information down, all in a really, really quick amount of time. So one thing that is wrapping up right now is hockey. It's like playoff season for a lot of hockey teams. Like, I don't mean NHL, I mean like junior A and stuff like that. So one thing that you do for hockey, well, that I do, is I have my camera set on manual mode. I don't know if I can tell you that either. Here. Can you see that? Or is the reflection too... There. My camera's on manual mode. Let's see. Yeah, the reflection's too much, but you should be able to see. But what I would do is I go out to the arena before the game starts, like 10 minutes before the game starts, and I'm on rink level, so I'm not in the stands, or I'm on the same level as the ice. And so I press the camera right against the glass, and in some arenas they cut out a piece for photographers so you can put the camera right into the glass. And a picture of the ice. And then I set the white balance to the ice, and then I start taking pictures. I take a test picture of the Zamboni. He's obviously not going to be going as fast as the hockey players, but if I can get him sharp and just ramp it up a little bit, and then when the hockey players go and start their warm-up right before, or like before O Canada or the Star Spangled Banner, then I start taking pictures of them to get a super sharp picture. And then throughout the game, I'll move around on rink level, take some pictures from different angles. Sometimes you can take pictures with like a flash overhead in the rafters. And then I switch sides because, I'll take a picture of a certain team, so I switch sides just so I can get like the goal kind of picture, the game-winning goal. If there's one goal, and I try to get the picture of the losing goal too, or the losing picture. You want to get the picture of them like, but you also want to get the picture of, just in case, say like 30 minutes into the game, there's a fire in the city, you have to leave the game. You want to have, oh my god, we lost. And you want to have, oh my god, we won, kind of, just in case. So I do that. And then towards the end of the game, I like to make sure I've got some above pictures of all the players too. But I always make sure that I get a picture behind the net of players shooting pucks right at the net, right at the goalkeeper as well. But yeah, I think the best thing about photography in my business, in like photojournalism, is you have to be on time. And you miss a lot of stuff if you're not on time. And I can't stand people who are like 10 minutes late. Can't stand it. If they don't have a reason, don't call and say that they're going to be late. I can't stand it. Something always happens. It's always unpredictable. So you come early so that you can beat other people. And then at the end, you always feel great that you beat people who are lazy. You're just like, yes. Anyhow, so that's the one that I use. I don't use this lens. I use sometimes that long lens that I showed you the other day. I'll see if I can get it actually so you can see it. If you did the broadcast the other day. Okay, hi, I'm back. Anyhow, if you didn't see the broadcast the other day, I use a lens like this one for sports photography in an arena. This is a 80 to 200 lens made for Nikon cameras. Actually, I should be showing it to you like that. Okay. There's a filter on the end as well. This is the camera I would use. This is the D2X. And you have to know, it's so freaking heavy, but you have to know, it doesn't really matter the type of camera you're using. I have a whole bunch of cameras, but this camera I got used, actually. It wasn't a brand new camera when I got it. And it was like 600 bucks used. And, you know, you don't need a brand new camera. You don't need this special $5,000 camera. Camera's a camera. It's just, you have to know how to use it. You have to know the manual, how everything works. All cameras have the same basic settings. They do. You don't have to have some special DSLR to take pictures. If you have an SLR or whatever, that's fine. It's hard to take sports pictures when you've got a shitty little point and shoot. Why did I say shitty? You have a point and shoot, but you don't need anything special. Get a $500 camera, get a used camera off of somebody and start practicing. That's all. Anyhow, just want to show you how it goes on. That's your paparazzi lens, baby. Look at it. Ugh. I don't know if I have any battery power on this. You can see it locks up like that. Ooh, isn't that creepy? You can see the lens moving in there. I don't have a card in here right now, so I can't take any pictures. And I'd have a cap at the end of it as well, like a hood. And that's one of the last things I want to tell you. I never put a lens cap on the camera. And I know some people will be like, oh, you never put a lens cap on a camera? This thing weighs a ton. It's like, I don't know, probably 10 pounds. It weighs 10 pounds. Do you think if you need to take a picture of a bird that's flying away that you're going to have enough time to put the whole camera together, take the cap off and take a picture? Bird's already flown off, right? So say you want to take a picture of a bird, you just put a filter like the filter that I've got on mine. And, you know, that's all. You don't need a cap. You know, if you scratch the filter, you scratch the filter. You could always take it off and throw it away and buy a new one. Eventually, you need to have a filter. Like the most common filters I think that people put on their cameras are UV filters. And that's just so that, you know, the UV rays from the sun, they don't damage the glass inside of the camera. And that's another reason why this is so heavy. Like if I show you the Sigma one, the camera itself is super heavy, but the lens is super light. And it's usually because the quality of the glass inside the lens is not inferior, but it's not as high. And sometimes lenses that are super cheap, it's because they're using plastic. They're not using glass. And this is a lens that's using glass. I love the sound. Anyhow, yeah, it's super huge paparazzi lens. And like I said yesterday, don't do this. Maybe do it in your backyard, or if you're in a park or something, find a spot that's really distant, or like use it over water or something like that and just take a picture of a fountain. But say, I think I could probably take a picture across a football field with this. Okay? So that is all I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, just check out my YouTube channel, leave a comment or something below this video because it's going to be uploading to my YouTube channel as well. Let me know what you think. Let me know what kinds of photography gear you want me to talk about or review. Okay? Bye!